It's been a while since I've done a garden video. I think it's a good time for an update. It's the first day of July, and things have definitely popped out. Things are greening up. I'm just going to put you on a short tour of the yard right now. I plan on doing some yard work today. But let's just walk through here really quick. Here we got some tomatoes, some squash. I want to show you something. I got this pepper from, move the tomato, from King Soopers, which is our grocery store chain here, and it said it was jalapenos. Now, if anybody out there knows what a jalapeno looks like, this is not a jalapeno. And what is that white thing growing out of the bottom? I'm going to tell you right now, I am probably not going to. It's funny because the bottom ones look like this, and then the top ones look like jalapenos. So if anybody out there knows, you can put it in the response below and tell me what's going on here. But I'm almost thinking it's like some kind of funky genetic mutation. I've never seen anything with a little white stem at the bottom. But I planted annuals wherever I could fit them. Yeah. This year, there's a corn growing right there. There's squash, tomato. I put down ground cover. My rhubarb's going crazy. Crazy rhubarb loves where it's at. There's some more squash back there. I have assorted turnips and radishes and whatever you can make of it. And down here is this ground cover that I just planted recently, because this is the first year I'm able to plant directly into the wood chips, and I've had them down for quite a while now, at least 4 or 5 years. Some turnip going to flower. Got some comfrey growing here. It's a plum. I can't remember what type it is. But anyhow, you can see my strawberries are starting to shoot out. I'm going to direct them over in this way. So this whole thing I'd like to be strawberries. I've got a fig cutting right there that I put in this year because the mother plant died, so I'm glad I took that. I got an American persimmon. It died back last year and it's coming back again. Hopefully it just takes a while to grow, you know. Hopefully it gets its roots in deep enough that it doesn't die back this winter. I have some elecampane, and I have a mulberry that still hasn't fruited. I'm giving this thing one more year. If it does not fruit, it's coming up, because it's taking up valuable real estate. Got some sunflowers growing. Comfrey. I got a cherry back there, but it also just keeps growing up and dying every year. And a currant that has not fruited. It put on flowers this year but did not fruit. I got my indoor banana that I brought outside. I got an apricot that sure is growing slow, but I have transplanted this about 3 times since it's been here, and this is the 3rd time. I think it needed more shade because it was burning up in the full sun, and it was where my geodesic dome is going to be. The apricot was right here somewhere. So I had to pull out all these trees that were in here, all this growth, and I'll make up for it because I'm going to put beds all along here and put more trees in. And of course inside here is going to get planted out, probably with things like figs, stuff that are right on the edge of our grow zone. Back here is a currant that's finally taken off this year. It's a red currant. It's finally turning into a bush. It really was struggling for a couple years there. Got squash growing in. Like I said, I plant them where I want. There's a baby mulberry right there. I have that tall thing right here is a jujube. So I have 2 jujubes in the yard now. I'm hoping that thing branches out. Those things grow really slow, but I believe they need a lot of fertilizer. Now we're going into the shady part of the yard. Got another rhubarb, got more ground cover. This is all edible ground cover. I believe these are carrot. And I got an onion peeking up out of there. I have another toka, this is a toka plum tree right here. It's finally branching out. My hope is to have these all go over the path, you know, so that you're in like a tunnel. There's my chihuahua. She's doing something over there. All this in between here, you can barely make it out, is boysenberry. And it gets fertilized from the chicken poop inside the chicken run, because I know its roots go way underneath there. It's doing really good this year. Finally got more than 6 berries on it. You know, this year I think I might get an actual pint of berries from them. It's gonna be awesome. Got a volunteer Swiss chard that popped out. Got some more sunflower I put in here. Everything in between, I finally have got ground cover down, so no more wood chips. You're not gonna hear about wood chips from me for a long time after this. When summer comes around, I'm probably gonna weed whack all this down and let that be ground cover, and hopefully a lot of it went to seed, so I don't have to buy those seeds anymore. And instead of just wild weeds coming up, I'm gonna have things that are identifiable. This rhubarb's the original rhubarb. It doesn't like the shade that much, but it's growing still, but it's not as vigorous as the one that we first saw. Over here's my elecampane. These leaves are just mammoth. I kind of enjoy it because I can't really grow hosta in Colorado. I could probably grow it now in this shady area, but when this first was put in, it was a really sunny area, and now it's in the shade. It's probably a 30-degree difference. The chicken coop is opened up today. I'm letting them out because most of the ground cover is kind of thick enough that I don't think they'll dig there. But that's an elecampane. It's about 4 feet tall now. The leaves are bigger than my torso. It's hard to tell in this picture though. Another big monster is this horseradish here. This is also huge, and I got some sunchoke peeking out the back. Another currant that didn't flower. I'm even wondering if these are currants, because I started out with a seed from the internet. It's supposed to be a golden currant. I planted that one right there, and this thing just went monster on me. Like in 3 years it went from seed to monster, so I've been taking cuttings and putting it over there. But the thing is, this thing has not been fruiting, and neither is its offspring cuttings. So I'm debating whether that was a bad seed, if it was even a currant at all. And here's my Santa Rose. All these trees I went through yesterday and pruned them back. They were really bushy and very beautiful looking, but they're not opened up. I need to, this might be the last year I actually prune these things. Kind of let them become trees after this. I got the initial scaffolding down so they can just grow. This is finally filling in. All this is filling in with the ground cover I put in. This is a bloody dock, and it's made babies that I spread around, so I want this all to be bloody dock one day. This is a hawthorn, and it's doing it right where it's at. It's a really beautiful tree. I really like to see it get big. Behind there is elderberry. Elderberry's popping up all over. See how it's volunteering all over? That's what I want, because this back edge has no use to me. So if that all becomes elderberry, I'd be quite happy with it. There's another type of elderberry. I still need to get a pollinator for it. So when I get a pollinator, I might put it over here. This is going to be a waterfall. It's in the making. It's a lot of work to get that all done. I'm going to sneak up back here and show you. I mostly planted this stuff here to hold back the dirt for erosion control more than anything. The back side of this as well. Erosion control. Try to deter the dogs into pooping back here and get them to poop on the sidewalk or something like that. Back here's my gardening area where it's under construction, just like most of my yard. Over here is all that's in the work in the future. I need money to do that though, and I don't have the money. I have the liner, I have the everything but the pumps, and I need to do some plumbing. But that is a work in progress. I'm trying to work from the south side of the yard over. So next project when I have some money is the geodesic dome, of course. It'll be right here. And that will be like a centerpiece of the yard for sure. But yeah, this corner is really, really nice and shaded, nice and cool. It's better than air conditioning. And we're here in Colorado. If I step out in the sun, it's easily almost 90 degrees. We have our uninhabited rabbit hutch still right now. I don't have any life forms in there right now. We'll probably keep it like that for a year or two. Like I said, I might get quail. Or even, I don't know if ducks would stay in there. If any of you know, let me know in the comments if ducks like houses or not. It doesn't have a high clearance though, so I couldn't get those ducks to stand up, those standing ducks. Birdhouse has never been, nothing's ever moved in there except a squirrel. You can see some of its nesting there, but it's starting to fall apart, so that's going to be that will be plan C on the birdhouse, because birdhouse falling apart, I think it has to do with the trees growing too, and it's kind of crushing it, falling apart. But yeah, oh yeah, it's kind of a wreck around here today. I plan on leveling this all up with dirt. I have dirt throughout the yard that's just getting in the way. I want to level this whole thing out. It will make the geodesic dome be a good 1.5 feet higher than the rest of the area. Over there you can see the big above raised garden that I put in last year. It's all filled in with annuals right now. I got a couple hazelnut trees in there that are not annuals, obviously. Over here I've got another plum tree, and this baby loves where it's at. It's doubled its size this year. I've only had it in the ground for a year, but it's already doing its thing. It's doing good. I have another one of those currants that don't flower or anything. That's not a big problem though. Right now it's acting as shade for other plants, and if it doesn't ever fruit, I'll cut it down and put something else there. There's some more squash and stuff. I put more ground cover down here for erosion control on the rabbit hutch. Yes. I'll show you what I did landscaping wise. This is the asparagus bed. I think I need to start fertilizing better because they come up every year. They're really spindly. This whole thing's going to be asparagus. Keep the dogs from trampling them. They come up really spindly. They only get about a foot tall and then they die. So I may have to fertilize this more is what I'm thinking. So this is going to be a pathway. I always call it the duck path because I always figured I'd get ducks eventually so they can share this water in here. But it's a step up. I elevated this. Here is a quince. It It's doing really well too. It's probably one of my favorite trees. Out of the baby trees, it's probably my favorite. I'd like to get more quince. Not that I like the fruit, but I like the idea that it doesn't flower early in the season, so it doesn't get affected by the hail. This is my mess of a pond that's under construction. It's seen so many phases. It's been operational for a year, and then off for a year, and then on for a year. I got all the stuff to make it nice. I really just need a good $1,000 for landscaping rocks, because when I put down the tarp, I really want to get in there with the rocks and cover it so the dogs don't punch holes in it and with their little nails and stuff. This I plan on landscaping a little differently. You can see where I got the board already here. It was just like a cliff, and I put a flat spot here so I can grow things on it, because I want things overhanging the pond too, you know. And I definitely want to deter raccoons. So I got these logs laid out. You can see I am gonna put a raised bed here. It's probably gonna be the height of this black tar paper that you see. So it'll come out, and then I'll put a tree there. So it won't affect the sunlight getting into the geodesic dome. All this dirt over here, it's hard to tell, but that's about 2 feet tall. And it goes this whole distance. I plan on leveling this whole thing out so it's smooth and a walkway, and I might actually drop it down a foot so that all water that runs from my yard will get caught in there and not leave the yard, but hopefully drain underneath the dome and under that raised bed and under that other raised bed. So let me show you the new feature I put in down here. Like I said, this is all getting up today, hopefully. This is a little trail I plan on putting just pots here, because there's nothing really else I can do with it. So this is the back side of the geodesic dome, or the west facing side. It's also going to be my office, is what I'm hoping. I took apart that blimp that was in my yard, and I salvaged all these canes. They're all fiberglass. They're not ever going to fade or anything. I'm using those as poles. And like I said, this is where the end of the raised bed is. I'm going to have it come in and connect to the geodesic dome, and then backfill this all with dirt. So this is all up high. All this will be the same height as this bank here, right? And then the entrance is going to be right here. So this trail here goes around here, but like I said, there's nothing really I can do with it right now. I'm gonna put pots here and use it for annuals, or maybe when I take plants out of the geodesic dome in the middle of summer when it's too hot, I'll put them out here in this space. But other than that, it's just a walkway basically for now. I had to make the raised bed in anticipation of the geodesic dome, and I didn't know what size I was going to get, so I ended up having this big gap here where I really wanted it to be almost the raised bed go up to the edge of this, but that's not going to happen. Raised bed's doing awesome. I just threw all sorts of stuff in there. It's not like it had to break down. It's not like the rest of the raised beds, which are mostly wood chips and had to wait for them to break down. This is just accumulated dirt piled in here thick, so I was able to grow immediately in it this year. So the thing that changed, I had an exoskeleton garden bed here, right? And I dismantled that, and it occurred to me that this would be a better design, is have the raised bed connect directly to the cactus garden. So it goes around here, up 2 peach trees. This is the cactus garden, and I just had it come all the way down. I connected it. So I kept this exoskeleton raised bed right here, and I planted into it. I'm going to be fighting these vines from growing into it and out, though. That's the only bad thing about that raised bed, but it'll be like a barrier to keep things out. I'm thinking about putting my compost bin here because I don't have a place for one right now. I got wood for it though. So the trail right now, it's a mess. I ran out of brick right here. So I have a choice. I can take this whole brick sidewalk off and not have it all brick, have it like half gravel, half brick or something like that and extend it. Or I can buy more bricks when I get money. But you can see goji berries are just going crazy. I'll walk up this way and then I'll come back the other way. So yeah, I planted some more of that ground cover in here to just get this covered. This is a mix of dirt, mostly dirt and wood chips. Yeah, it's doing good down here. Goji berries. I backfilled some dirt in the cactus garden, which brought up the elevation on it. Cactus are doing awesome. They like it in Colorado, that's for sure. I really decimated these trees though, pruning them back, but you can see I got fruit. Let's see, for the first year on this tree. Well, I had it a couple years ago and I picked them off because I didn't want the baby tree to be having to deal with the weight of the fruit. Right here is where my dogs like to hang out, so I haven't really planted anything there. I'm letting them have that for now. Eventually I'm going to put a tree right there, and then they can lay under the tree, and then eventually I'll push them out by putting bushes there. But in the meantime, we got all sorts of stuff in here. I'm not a conventional gardener, so I just throw things where they go, and I don't try to micromanage those seeds. I just put them where they go, and I don't put rows in or anything. I just knew the dogs wouldn't be along this edge here, so I put these here. A lot of sunflowers coming up. Got a watermelon in there, I think. But you can see, this is a good view of the new garden bed that I put in. So it goes back here, up here, and here. And there's a lilac in the back corner that I pruned pretty good. Keep it from bushing out too much into the yard because it isn't really edible or anything. Here's that mulberry again. Some onions. Got all sorts of stuff popping out of this pot and some tomatoes in there. Got some beans. All sorts of stuff growing in here, which is good. I want to get it covered. So we'll skip my patio because it looks really bad right now. It's going to be another area I focus on, is fixing this cactus garden up so it has more of a rhyme to its madness, you know. Alright, so we are on where I put my new trail at, new path. I widened it and flattened it and lowered it, but it goes all the way back. It's pretty nice actually. Around here and back. Eventually I'll get brick. Peach tree. I got a apricot, nectarine. I'll just walk down here. Nice little cactus. Have some purslane growing back here. That's edible, so I'll leave it. It seems to like growing in the rocks. But yeah, that's the raised bed. Chicken burial ground. Gotta put them somewhere, right? Yeah, so that's about it. Goes around. I made that like a little mini bed under the lilac. This will get filled out next year. So I just wanted to show you from a different angle. So, new bed, raised bed, geodesic dome. So just wanted to show you new bed, raised bed, geodesic dome, which will come up and dominate this area. Be pretty nice. And then another raised bed here, and then the pond in the back. So this is all got to get flattened out today, and all that dirt's going to go into the geodesic dome. So if I ever need to get more dirt from anywhere, I'll be harvesting it from inside the geodesic dome. So let's walk through here really quick. This yard's kind of funky. It's kind of hard to, it's very small. Very, very small yard. But it's going to be a very complicated yard and utilizing almost every inch of it. Because, you know, we're given this, you know, you need to show what you got. Don't waste it, you know. Don't just throw down a bunch of grass seed and manicure that with thousands of gallons of water each year. If you're going to water something, at least water something that has a return, you know, something that gives back. So my chickens are let out today. We're going to see how much damage they try to do. If they start going crazy and digging everything up, they're going back in the house. I don't mind that if they eat some greens out here. But these are some good chickens. My last batch of chickens were really loud. This batch, they're so quiet. Even when they're not being fed, they're really quiet. There's some more hiding over there. Yep, they definitely got out. Got one that's brooding, so it's being broody, so it won't come out and enjoy this weather no matter what. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping these chickens just go over there. I want them over there. That's where I'm working on already. This area here is pretty much established, and I don't like ruining it, you know. Hopefully eventually all my paths are like this with the green stuff growing out of it. That'd be awesome.